Hello, I am the writer at the Lifted Veil. Now, I'm just gonna pop snussing because I give no fucks about your opinion. And I'm gonna speak probably with a lisp, but I'm gonna explain what the Lifted Veil is. Now, there is an echo here, but I like the echo. It makes me sound like I'm speaking in a cathedral, which is cool. Now, essentially, obviously we have artists like Van Gogh who drew the chair, the flower pot, and they became substantial, and yet they are so simple. They are generic things, human things. We experience them in our day-to-day life. We witness them. The point of this is the lifted veil is essentially the veil that Van Gogh was lifting, and fellow artists. Currently, it stands at a publication, which it's transforming into a media company in its time. But the lifted veil is essentially the veil of normality that is lifted. As we find ourselves in this civilization of mediocrity, and we find ourselves in this realm of confusion. You know, politics has become obsolete. The right have imitated the left, and the left have imitated the right, and we find ourselves non-existent, exactly. And the political sphere is just a strange vaudevillian thing that I tend to stay away from. At the lifted veil on the right end, I often avoid political discussion for various reasons. To keep it short, the lifted veil. The lifted veil is lifting. It's self-explanatory. It's lifting the veil of existence, meaning whatever you see in your day-to-day life, I write about. So I cover topics that range from how to deal with agony to the psychology of the police officer. I offer in the philosophical sphere. I offer the benefits of the depth of the modern civilization. I intend to again, it's self-explanatory. It goes back to itself. It's the lifted veil for a reason. It's lifting the veil on humanity. The things that we experience as human beings, the veil is to be lifted, and this is the main attraction to it. And this is what it is in its essence. It is lifting the veil on the generic things that we ignore yet contain depth. For example, in this day and age, we find ourselves avoidant of depth. You know, our world lacks depth. We live in a civilization that is mediocre in its essence. It's stale is a good word for it. It's startled by its own reflection, by its own commitment to the civilization. It's startled by it, and we find ourselves struck by this. And so what the lifted veil does is alienate topics where depth occurs to which we would ignore. And this is pretty much the ethos of the brand. You know, there is an about section which covers basically the philosophy of it, although it's a bit more complicated, obviously, you know, with the context of content production and other stuff, we have to limit ourselves in these areas. But I would just like to illustrate what the lifted veil is. You know, it's self-explanatory essentially, and yeah, I have a snussin at the moment, obviously, always with Velo. Velo in the UK, the best that I've tried. They're the most strongest, and obviously there are cigarettes too over there somewhere. But again, I mean, once a smoker is a smoker, you know, you need a mixture of things and whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to announce sort of illustration of what the lifted veil is in the regard of what it means to be in the long run. It's a transformative artistic platform that will become a media source of artistic exploration. So yeah, I would like to keep this short, even though I'm running over time, and I know it's 6.5 minutes. It's a bit of a drag, but this is essentially what the lifted veil stands as a brand that is forming. Yeah. So farewell, take care. I wish everyone health, love, ambition, power, strength, and endurance for the suffering of the world. Take care.